It's time to start your day with the First Cup Morning Show.
Serving up a warm cup of good news, positivity, and uplifting messages.
And now, here's your host,
Our dad,
Joshua Kangley.
Hello, friends. Good morning to you, and welcome back on into the First Cup Monday Morning Show. And this is where we kick off the week with some good news and some good vibes. I'm Joshua Kangley. Thank you for joining me this morning. I do have some good news for you, and we'll get to that in just a bit. But first, let's start off with a quote. Stephen Covey once said, "Find your voice and inspire others to find theirs." It sounds simple, but it's one of the deepest challenges we face. Finding your voice isn't about being the loudest person in the room. It's about clarity. It's about knowing what you stand for, what you won't compromise, and why you're here. Your voice is shaped by experience, failure, conviction, and growth. But Covey doesn't stop there. He adds the higher calling, inspire others to find theirs. True leaders don't create followers who echo their words. They inspire others to speak with confidence in their own truth. They don't dominate conversations. They make room. They don't seek control. They cultivate courage. And when you live authentically, you give others permission to do the same. When you speak with integrity, you remind people they don't have to hide. And when you lead with humility, you help others realize their voice matters too. And this world doesn't need any more noise. It needs more voices rooted in purpose, character, and truth. So find yours and then help others realize they've had one all along. And now let's go to the Did You Know? Did you know that on this day in 1926, the first public TV demonstration took place in London? In 1926, inventor John Logie Baird made history by giving the world's first public demonstration of a working television system. At the time, the idea of transmitting moving images over wires sounded closer to science fiction than science. Baird's system was mechanical, not electronic, using a spinning Nipkow disc to scan images line by line. The picture quality was extremely crude, about 30 lines of resolution, but it worked. Even more remarkable, Baird demonstrated moving human faces, something many scientists of the era believed was impossible. Until then, most experiments had only managed shadows or simple shapes. His audience included members of the Royal Institution and journalists, some of whom were skeptical. But once they saw a live image transmitted from one room to another, skepticism quickly turned to amazement. This moment laid the groundwork for modern television, even though Baird's mechanical approach would later be replaced by electronic television systems developed in the 1930s. Still, his 1926 demonstration proved a revolutionary idea that moving images could be broadcast to the masses. In short, grainy, flickering, and primitive, but it changed the world. And if you didn't know that, now you know. According to NationalDayCalendar.com, today, January 26, is National Peanut Brittle Day. National Peanut Brittle Day on January 26 recognizes a hard, flat candy confection enjoyed worldwide. The candy's buttery, nutty texture makes for a delicious treat and can be made at home. Peanut brittle includes caramelized sugar or corn syrup. Nuts are added to the molten sugar and then poured onto a flat surface, smoothed into a thin sheet. The candy cools into a hard, brittle treat broken into smaller pieces. Some of the best brittles are hand-stretched into a thin, easily cracked candy that melts in your mouth. I have to say, growing up, peanut brittle was one of my favorite little candy treats. I absolutely loved it. But tell me what you think. Who out there enjoys peanut brittle? And now it's time for some animal fun facts.
Today's animal is the musk ox. Did you know their inner coat is 8 times warmer than sheep's wool? allowing them to thrive in extreme cold.
Did you know musk oxen are only found in the Arctic regions?
All right, let's get to the good news of the week. Navy rescue swimmer saves woman just seconds before SUV sinks. What began as an ordinary lunch quickly turned into a life-saving rescue in Virginia Beach, thanks to instinct, courage, and the presence of a Navy rescue swimmer who didn't hesitate. Jeremy Way was eating lunch at Bubba's on Shore Drive when a sudden thunderous splash slammed against the restaurant's windows. A vehicle had driven off a nearby boat ramp and into the icy water. Realizing something was trapped inside, Way immediately ran towards the scene and dove in, despite freezing temperatures hovering around 29 degrees. Inside the sinking SUV, the driver was panicked and initially unable to unlock the doors as water rushed in. With seconds to spare, Way and several Good Samaritans worked together, encouraging the woman and attempting to break the glass. As the SUV slipped completely underwater, they managed to free her just in time. Using the rescue techniques he'd been trained for, Way swam the woman to safety, and moments later, the vehicle disappeared beneath the surface. Restaurant manager Dan Baker described the scene as unbelievable, watching as ordinary citizens pulled off an extraordinary rescue just before the car vanished from sight. All involved made it out of the water alive. The driver and the two rescuers were treated at a hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. For Way, the moment felt bigger than coincidence. "I was just here to grab lunch," he said. "I'm an aviation rescue swimmer. I believe I was here for a reason." And his Navy motto says it best: so others may live. You know, it's moments like this that remind us that heroes don't wear capes. They're ordinary people doing extraordinary things. Jeremy Way didn't wake up planning to save a life that day. He simply acted when it mattered. No hesitation, no spotlight, just training, courage, and a willingness to step in when someone else needed help. I really hope you enjoyed that good news. And remember, for more positivity, good news, and uplifting messages, you can always visit guidinglights.org. That's www.guidinglights.org. Now, before we go, I'd like to leave you with a dad joke. Why shouldn't you tell secrets in a cornfield? Too many ears. Well, friends, that's going to wrap up this week's show. I hope it brought some light into your life, some inspiration, some courage, a smile to your face, ready to start the week. And I challenge you to be the reason someone else smiles this week, and have a great week yourself. And please remember, don't let the mainstream media fool you. There is good news happening all the time.